The Buddha once said, "He who sits alone, walks alone, and tames himself alone finds true freedom." Sounds deep, right? But let's be real. These days, being alone, it freaks people out. Think about it. Society keeps telling us that a successful life, a happy life, means being surrounded by people, wealth, noise. If you're not constantly socializing, posting updates, or drowning in stuff, something must be wrong, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Almost every great spiritual path praises solitude. Why? Because the greatest minds, prophets, monks, mystics, they all had to step away from the noise. They had to isolate themselves to find something deeper. And nobody knew this better than the Buddha. Before he became the Buddha, he was a prince. Imagine it, living in luxury, surrounded by indulgence, power, everything society says should make us happy. But guess what? It wasn't enough. It didn't bring him peace. So what did he do? He walked away, left the palace, dived into the wilderness, moving from one forest to another, meditating, searching for something beyond the material world. Now, here's where it gets real. Living alone can be a blessing or a curse. And the difference? Your mindset. Most people fear solitude because they don't know what to do with it. They think, if I'm alone, I must be lonely. But that's not how it works. I hear it all the time. "Jordan, I live alone, and it's driving me crazy. My mind won't shut up. The negative thoughts won't stop. What do I do?" Well, here's the truth. Solitude doesn't create negativity. It reveals it. When you're alone, you're forced to face your own mind, without distractions, without noise, without escape. And that is where the real journey begins. Loneliness. It's funny, isn't it? For some, it's peaceful. For others, it's torture. But here's the thing. Whether it's a curse or a gift, that's up to you. Take Prince Siddhartha, the man who would become the Buddha. Imagine this. A prince drowning in luxury, servants, gold, every pleasure at his fingertips, and yet he walks away from it all. Why? Because something inside him just knew pleasure alone wasn't enough. So what does he do? He swings to the opposite extreme, from silk sheets to sleeping on the ground, from endless feasts to, well, barely eating, from indulgence to pure, relentless suffering. But here's the twist. He wasn't alone. 5 monks followed him, convinced that the only way to reach enlightenment was through pain. And they took it seriously. Starvation, brutal meditation, pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. They believed the only way to free the soul was to break the body. And Siddhartha? He gave it his all. 6 whole years. No food, no comfort, nothing. Just pain and silence. But then something clicked. This path is just as dangerous as the one he left behind. One extreme was drowning in pleasure, the other, drowning in pain. Neither led to peace, so for the first time in years, he did something unthinkable. He ate, picked up his alms bowl, walked through the village, accepted food, and the monks? Oh, they lost it. Wait, he's eaten? The great Siddhartha is taking food. Disbelief turned to disappointment. We trusted him. We thought he was different. He's weak. He'll go running back to the palace any day now. And just like that, they abandoned him. 5 years of loyalty, gone. Just like that. Why? Because Siddhartha refused to break himself for an idea that wasn't working. Because he realized something they didn't. True wisdom isn't in extremes. it's in balance. And what happened next? Well, that's when everything changed. And just like that, everyone was gone. The 5 monks who once followed him, gone. The blind faith, gone. The constant push for suffering, gone. Siddhartha sat there alone, no distractions, no voices telling him what to do, just silence. But here's the thing, this wasn't a punishment. This was an opportunity. With no one left to judge him, he could finally do something radical, think for himself. So he sat under the Bodhi tree, still, unmoving. Days passed, and then it happened. That moment, that shift, that terrifying, beautiful realization he was awake. Not like waking up in the morning, groggy and reaching for coffee. No, he saw everything, life, suffering, the endless craving, the pain, and he broke free from it. That's when Siddhartha stopped being just a man and became the Buddha. Now, here's the twist. It all started with solitude. Most people fear being alone. They treat loneliness like a disease. But here's the truth. It's only a curse if you don't know how to use it. Think about it. When you're alone, what happens? Your thoughts get louder. And if you're in the wrong headspace, those thoughts, they can get dark. That's why so many people struggle with loneliness. They let their thoughts control them when it should be the other way around. But here's the secret. Loneliness isn't a void. It's energy. And energy, it doesn't disappear. It has to go somewhere. Science says energy can't be destroyed, only transformed. And that's exactly what happens with your thoughts. You can't erase negativity, but you can flip it. Loneliness is raw, unshaped potential, and if you don't give it a direction, it'll turn on you. That's why people with no purpose feel the loneliest. No goal, no aim, nothing to push that energy into. But give your mind a mission, a challenge, a system, and suddenly, that loneliness isn't a prison, it's fuel. The same way Siddhartha used solitude to awaken, you can use it to build. The question is, are you going to let it break you or make you? You ever notice how some people can sit alone in silence and be completely at peace, while others, they start losing their minds? Yeah, there's a reason for that. See, everyone needs something to engage with. It's not a choice. It's how we're wired. Some chase success, others search for meaning. But here's the thing. You need both. Because at some point, you will be alone. Not metaphorically, not in some deep, poetic, Instagram quote way, literally alone. And when that moment comes, if you've got nothing inside you, no purpose, no direction, your own mind will turn against you. That silence, it won't be peaceful. It'll be deafening. Ever wonder why some people get trapped in cycles of loneliness? It's because they never trained their mind to function in solitude. And that's dangerous. See, loneliness isn't just an emotion, it's energy. And if you don't give it a job, it will create one for itself. And that job? Yeah, it's usually not pretty. Regret, overthinking, self-doubt. That's the price of having no inner foundation. But here's the good news. It's never too late to flip the script. The trick? Give your mind a mission, a purpose, a problem to solve. Ask yourself, what should I build? Who do I want to become? What qualities am I missing? Because here's the ugly truth. We all have weaknesses, and ignoring them, that's how you lose. But working on them, that's how you win. The people who master solitude aren't the ones who avoid it. They're the ones who weaponize it. Time is your biggest asset. And guess when you get the most of it? When you're alone. So the real question is, What are you going to do with it? You ever notice how people say they want me time, but the second they're alone, they panic? Yeah, that's not me time. That's just trying to escape yourself. Here's the thing. Most people can't stand being alone because they've never actually met themselves. Every second of their day, filled with noise, notifications, Netflix, endless scrolling, anything to avoid silence. But here's where it gets interesting. Silence is where your real power is. Think about it. Every genius, every mastermind, every person who's ever reshaped the world, they all had one thing in common. They knew how to be alone. Why? Because solitude isn't just sitting in a quiet room. It's a weapon, a tool, a portal to understanding yourself before the world tells you who to be. But let's be real. Most people won't do this. They'll say they're too busy, that they don't have time. Really? No time? But somehow, 3 hours just disappeared into cat videos and conspiracy theories. Here's the deal. Set aside 15 minutes. That's it. No phone, no distractions. Just you, sitting with your own thoughts. At first, it'll feel weird, like you just walked into an empty house and forgot why. But give it time. That silence, it'll start revealing things, patterns, weaknesses, blind spots you've been ignoring. And that's where growth begins. Because the people who can sit alone and be at peace, they're the ones who are truly in control. Everyone else just running from themselves. So the real question is, which one are you?